Magic Conj, will I ever get to meet Tom Kenny?
Maybe someday.
Oh, so you're saying there's a chance. Okay. Should I tell fans of the show how they can support us?
Yes.
Goofy Goobers, supporting the show is shockingly easier than catching a blue jellyfish. Right from our Anchor page, anchor.fm/spongepod, you can find links to all of our social media and a support button if you happen to have a few extra clams. Also follow us on twitch.tv/SpongeBobPodcast, where it's not only the official home to our sister show, Video Bob Game Pants, it's also where I stream live drawings of various Nickelodeon characters and host the opportunity for commissions and giveaways. Lastly, the official merchandise store is now open at redbubble.com/people/SpongePod, where various designs will be uploaded inspired by our show, including our official logo, which is now available on a multitude of products like t-shirts, stickers, duvet covers, and even a shower curtain. This is a podcast by a fan, for fans, and will always be fan-driven. Any way you see fit on supporting our show is much appreciated. Thank you, and enjoy. Ahoy, mateys, and welcome to another episode of I'm Ready, a SpongePod Squarecast. Man, so much to go over with. Some good, some, not so good, but we continue on moving forward. My name is Captain Eric. Welcome back to the show. The Ready crew out there. Hope you guys are staying safe. Hope you're, slowly as states are reopening, hopefully some of you are getting to go back to work. Of course, it doesn't matter if you're going back to school or not because there's no school. It's summer, so I hope any of you, you kids out there, you teenagers, you enjoy your summer. Of course, summer here is just my life continues on. I don't have a summertime. I'm in working mode. But things could change honestly for the better moving forward on my end as far as the show goes. But man, what a weird day I've had in SpongeBob. I'm recording this on June 22nd, and immediately putting it up right afterwards. I didn't forget to record this episode. I did, but I recorded next week's episode, Culture Shock, with a special guest, and we had such a wonderful conversation, so I'm already plugging that episode next week. I honestly believe it is probably the best episode of this podcast so far, and I'm proud of it. And it's nice to see that trajectory moving forward. And so today, June 22nd, a day before Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated comes out, and I work at a business where I was able to get Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated a little early. Not by much, just a tad. So now for any of the Ready crew out there that has followed this show, I had stepped up to Mixer over Twitch in the beginning because it felt like, because it's a smaller community over there might be more opportunity to grow. That was attractive to me. It felt like Twitch, because there's no denying Twitch is number one, but I don't know. There was something nice about putting all the content on Mixer, like moving forward with Mixer, that you can make it somewhere over there and be I don't know. There was a lot of thoughts, and also, to be fair, it was a lot easier to become a partner with Mixer than it is with Twitch, in my opinion. Maybe some people think I'm wrong, but now I don't have a choice because literally a day before, I didn't really announce it on social media, but I was going to stream Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated on the 23rd all day. I was gonna throw something up in the morning, but I was just going to stream it, and then of course July 1st we had the debut episode of Video Bob Game Pants on Mixer. And then, oh my God, Mixer is being shut down. And such anxiety for the first hour after reading that. And it's not that I cared that much about Mixer over Twitch, but it's just the fact that a day before I'm going to stream all day, and a week and a half away from debuting the sister show to this podcast on Mixer. Now I got to like rush all through and re-record a part of the support intro and quickly like I need to get an episode out this week so people know about it. So right now, our Twitch page is very bare bones. I have not had the time to customize it the way I did with Mixer. I hope to have it all completed by July 1st, but twitch.tv/SpongeBob Podcast. That's going to change, I will tell you, in 2 months when I am allowed to change the username. It's going to be something different. But it's SpongeBob Podcast right now. Not the best, but it was just like a freak out moment. Like, oh my God, I gotta quickly sign up for Twitch. So that's what we're going to be. That's where Video Bob Game Pants is going to be. That's where, if you're listening to this, I will be streaming on the 23rd and doing most of my streaming on there. It feels right to be where, you know, you're on the number one streaming platform, but it was just a pain in the barnacles, in the captain's quarters to have to go through all that. But, you know, it is what it is. Life moves on. Life evolves. Not gonna worry too much about it. We're on a better platform. Maybe we're on a better trajectory, and maybe we'll do better on Twitch than we ever would have on Mixer. So that's the optimism we're going for. Other than that, Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated does come out tomorrow officially for most of you. I have my copy, and I do promise I'm not playing it until, like, my first experience of it will be captured live on twitch.tv/SpongeBob Podcast. I also got my SpongeBob Pride Pop in today from Funko. Funko partnered with the It Gets Better project and made 3 pops for Pride Month. Batman, Hello Kitty, and SpongeBob. And speaking of this, I've gotten a few questions about this issue, and I didn't know if I wanted to address it, but obviously, given that I just mentioned the Pride Pop, this questions I've received about the post Nickelodeon recently made, and I'm going to address it in 2 ways. The first way is Nickelodeon has always used SpongeBob in advertisements for Pride and to be accepting of others. And what was different about this year was, I believe it was the first year that Nickelodeon included other characters. Certainly the actor from Henry Danger, whose name it's on the tip of my tongue, and I'm totally searching it up right now. But I want to give him a shout out. Michael D. Cohen of Henry Danger, who I believe last year or 2 years ago came out and mentioned that he had transitioned from a woman to a man at some point in his life, and it was big news. It was a big shock, and Nickelodeon was very accepting of it, and the world was very accepting of it. So they have a image of SpongeBob, they have an image of Schwoz from Henry Danger, and then they have an image of Cora, who, if anybody got to watch that 4th season of that show, knows where that show ended, in a very special way. So it was the first time that Nickelodeon included characters like that along with SpongeBob, so everybody just kind of ran with this idea that it was like Nickelodeon's way of wink wink telling you about SpongeBob's personal life. And not that it would be wrong for my favorite character to be out like that. I just go back. The second thing I wanted to say is it goes back to almost 2 decades ago when Steven Hillenburg already addressed these questions about SpongeBob and his preferences. SpongeBob, like the actual sea, the sea sponges don't. He's asexual, which, for those that don't know, and I'm not, I'm just giving you the exact definition I can find of it, is asexuality is defined as a lack of sexual attraction. That's it. And as far as I know of actual sea sponges, they don't really have a gender, and Steven Hillenburg was basing his answer off of that as an actual sea sponge. So even if Nickelodeon wanted to come out today in 2020 and say, we believe that SpongeBob is gay, I don't necessarily. I'm going with the man himself. I'm going with the guy who created him over what any current executive is saying. But it was just puzzling to me because I feel like every year in Pride Month, SpongeBob has always been used in those kind of advertisements of inclusion, of acceptance, and like I said, I think it's just the first. I believe it's the first year they've included other characters. I may be wrong about that, but it was just the first time. I remember seeing the post, and my first thought wasn't, "Oh my God, they included SpongeBob." It was just that's really nice for Michael, and it was really nice they acknowledged Cora again, who I feel like just got treated so unfairly by the network. So yeah, I wanted to address that in some way. Now, as we continue moving forward, we have an episode to watch. And it would be funny, given the contents of the episode, to not watch it at all. Haha, opposite day. I wanted to do something with this episode. Have just a different host. But I don't know. I have no one I could have asked for that. But anyway, we're going to be watching and talking about Opposite Day. The second part of episode 9, first aired September 11th, 1999. Written by Chuck Klein, Jay Lender, Doug Lawrence. Of course, we got our Tom Yasumi in animation, the animation director, and the creative director, Derek Dryman. An episode I probably quote a lot more than I realize. When I think of this episode, I, of course, just think of SpongeBob. I think of Patrick's dance, his I'm Squidward dance. I think about the realtor's moment of, he's Squidward. He's Squidward. I'm Squidward. Is there any other Squidwards I need to know about? And then there's Gary. But my favorite moment of this whole episode is the opening of SpongeBob and Patrick. Look, I have a smile on my face, and I'm legitimately happy. I love this opening of the show with SpongeBob and Patrick annoying Squidward with a impromptu birthday party. And anytime it's someone's birthday, I send them that video. It's not my birthday. Anyway, it isn't my birthday. My birthday's not till October. But so we're going to of course, we got a Anchor ad that I love, which, by the way, I've heard a few of you mention either that you've started using Anchor and you're planning on using Anchor, and I just love that because I love the people at Anchor are absolutely wonderful. Such a good platform for podcasts. And I'm not saying that because they sponsor my show, but I've just enjoyed using their service more than other services that I've tried, because I've been podcasting for a couple years, and this has been the best so far, and I absolutely love them. So we're going to just take a quick ad break, and when we come back, we're going to watch Opposite Day together and have some fun. Enjoy.
2,000 years later.
And welcome back to the show where we talk about SpongeBob. So if you got your episode queued up, I don't know how many of you actually do this, but for any of you that do, who watch along with me, I appreciate you. So we got Opposite Day pulled up, and if you'd like to, I got it right on the title screen, and you could play it right now. Boom, Opposite Day. One of my favorite episodes of season 1, if not, it might be my favorite. I don't know. It's really tough. Especially this opening. I can't tell you how much I love this opening. The giggling in the bed. The fact that they're waking up Squidward. This is the first episode where the rooster crows 2 times. Happy birthday, Squidward. Happy birthday. Happy birthday cake. Happy birthday. Pin the tail on the seahorse. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Squidward. Woo! Another year older. It's not my birthday. This is the episode that marks the first appearance of Squidward's self-portraits. That I'm reading that piece of trivia, and I find it hard to believe. Annoying neighbors. I honestly believe that other fish in the sea, other animals could live in between SpongeBob and Patrick and not have a problem with it. Obviously Squidward can't, but I think there could be others that would be able to live in that Easter Island head, which apparently, according to Squidville, which is weird because it's also the next episode that would use the rooster crows 2 times. All squids in the sea, all octopuses live in Easter Island heads. Easter Island eggs. Easter Island heads. It has been a long day, folks. It is literally about to be 11 p.m. and about to be the release of Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Drum, this is my wig case. I love Squidward's wig. I wish that would make a return. We'll get to that. We'll get to this moment. Convincing SpongeBob that it's Opposite Day is ingenious, but of course SpongeBob and Patrick find a way to completely mess this entire situation up. When Squidward's whole plan obviously was just to get SpongeBob to stay in his house, don't move. Seeing Squidward have so much energy in the morning, I hate Opposite Day. This is the first episode where SpongeBob's belt buckle is shown. What do you mean? Walk. Look at his little scallop in the cage up there. Oh man, crawling into bed. Gary, where is your holiday spirit? I was able to convince Gary to bark. And of course Patrick doesn't know. The idea of Opposite Day, I don't know, a lot of you probably went to schools that tried. I remember throughout school that they would do these kind of weird days once in a while. Now, when you get into high school, they have what's called Spirit Week. I don't know how many of you actually have done this, where there's an entire week where every day is like a different event. Like there's one day where you wear the colors at my high school were green, green and white. So there would be a day where you have to wear as much green as possible, and then there'd be a day where everybody gets to wear a hat, and then there'd be a day where you're supposed to dress weird, kind of like an Opposite Day type thing. Meow. I love Patrick's meow here. definitely going to the bathroom on those newspapers. So this part, SpongeBob and Patrick speaking backwards. If you reverse those, SpongeBob is saying, "Hey Patrick, I give up." And to get to the opposite side, it's a reference to the well-known joke, "Why did the chicken cross the road?" Which has never been funny ever in history. But anyway, so there was a day once in one of these spirit weeks where you had to dress up like a teacher. And somebody I went to school with got to the class before the teacher did and was dressed up as them and started teaching the class, and everybody went along with it. So when the teacher walks in, he wasn't a very comedic person. I personally, I would have just went along with it and let him teach, like see how far he gets before stumbling, and I have to catch in. But yeah, I don't think he just walked in and was like, what are you doing? Get to your seat. Great times. And here, of course, is Squidward doing carpentry work, fixing SpongeBob's pineapple, which is incredible. I don't know how many of you have actually even done any work. I have a condo, and when I moved in, there was some clear, drywall is very easy to work with, but it can also be difficult in some ways. That I personally think, look, I'm not a... Oh, here comes his belt. There it is. I want to be Squidward too. Yeah, so there was I'm not somebody who does a lot of housework. How do I word this? I do housework. I clean. I'm not a carpenter. I'm not good with building stuff. Certain things I can be, small things. I've built shelves for my pop collection in my office, which is now a bedroom for one of my roommates. Their Squidward dance. After you, Mr. Squidward. I bet Bill and Tom had so much fun recording this episode. So I'm not necessarily good with the home renovations, but I wanted to. I'm a homeowner now. I want to patch that hole and patch that hole and do this. And there's a hole in my kitchen ceiling that is like halfway done and has been like that for years. And I just never have the motivation to just... It probably would take no more than 2 hours of a day to finish it completely. And I just haven't gotten it done. And it's not laziness. It's just like, well, there's not a hole there anymore. I got a piece of drywall up there and it's got some spackle on it. And, okay, it's fine. I can't. I'm trying to talk about my home, and in the background it's SpongeBob. This is by far one of the funniest episodes. It's so great. Especially I love when he's like, "Do you want to hear some more?" And she goes, "No, I'm good. I read you loud and clear," and keeps playing the clarinet. The most boring room in the house. What's crazy, this is the first time that the running gag is that Squidward is just not good at anything he does, and artistically. Dance, art teacher, music. He sucks. Which is a dirty word, but he does. Here it is. Okay. I read you loud and clear. I hear you loud and clear. But here's this woman who comes in, this realtor, who's like, "Oh, it's very nice." I think it's just obviously because it's not Squidward showing it off. If it was Squidward showing it off, she would probably not like it. All these Squidwards trying to sell one house. How many? I'm Squidward. Meow. This is one of the funnier. Oh my God. I absolutely love this episode for so many reasons. It's my favorite Annoy Squidward episode of all time, I would say. I'm like trying to sit here and not let there be dead air and think about a funnier episode of just in the neighborhood, Annoy Squidward. And I can't, for the life of me, think of one. If I come across it and I'm watching it, I will admit I'm wrong. But I think for right now, I'm going to say that this is the funniest Annoy Squidward type episode there can be. And Squidward caused his own problems as usual. If he would have left things alone, potentially SpongeBob would have not been in the way. But we don't know. We're not sure about that. Anyway, that was Opposite Day. As you could tell, hopefully you could hear my pure love and giddiness for this episode. And I just have so much excitement for tomorrow with the release of Rehydrated. I haven't talked a lot yet about my love for the video games. I, of course, will. In a couple of episodes, you'll actually have the first episode of this podcast dedicated to the first game that SpongeBob appeared in. So on July 1st, 2020, on twitch.tv/SpongeBobPodcast, I'm going to be streaming with me and some guests, all 3 editions of Nicktoons Racing. It's the first video game ever that featured SpongeBob. And then I will record kind of a pseudo review. Every time I play a SpongeBob game in order, it'll fall in place of the episodes. So there'll be a review of Nicktoons Racing in all 3 editions. Of course, we're going to play as both SpongeBob and Patrick and play through the game. Beating the game is a plus because, not to spoil anything, but SpongeBob is a very important part to those games, I believe, in all 3 editions. So we got that. If you happen to be listening to this on June 23rd, I'm planning around a start time of like 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. I'm just going to load up a stream and play Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, a remake of my second favorite SpongeBob game ever. What's my first? I don't know. I do know, but I'm just going to keep that mystery alive. You'll have to wait and find out to see what my personal favorite SpongeBob game of all time is. And until then, hope you're all staying safe. Enjoy yourselves. And we'll see you on twitch.tv/SpongeBob Podcast. Ahoy, mateys!